Yeah, good morning, YouTube. So I'm getting ready to finish off these panels for my 3D printer enclosure. And so what came with the panels, it's this 1-inch wide 25 millimeter foil tape. You need to cover these ends of the panels, these channels up. So the way I put these on to get a nice fit is you pull the paper off. And so I like to get it on one end. You get it roughly centered and don't stick it down all the way. You want to get over to the other end, just get it stuck down. And then for these smaller panels, then what I like to do is sight down the end there, if you can see that, and get it nice and centered on this end. And then flip it around. You want to get it about equal coverage on both sides so it doesn't look lopsided. So once you get it stuck down there, then to get a nice fold, you run your finger back and forth down that side, and then what you start doing is just bending your finger slightly over the edge. Just slowly fold it until you get it mostly over, like that. Now you got one side. Show you what that looks like here. And then you can kind of flatten that side out a little bit. So then you flip it around, and now I've got this side to smooth over. So you just run your finger back and forth, maybe bend it 10 or 15 degrees at a time until you get a 90-degree bend. You just don't want to bend it over all in one shot, because then you won't get a nice flat finish. So then what I do is take something like a pencil and just rub it along the flat sides, probably on the ends. I just use finger pressure because there's sharp corners here and you don't want to tear through the aluminum. But there you go, there's one panel. Yeah, good evening, YouTube. There it is. Got my 3D printer enclosure finished. It's got the string of color changing LEDs in there. That's running off at 12 volts. But everything comes off. See, I recessed 3 magnets across the top, and then I also recessed the magnets there, and that holds the front on. So there's really no hinges. I think it works better that way. I can just take the front off and then get full access inside the printer. And then I have the top is held on with 4 magnets, one in each corner. So that just lifts off, and then this frame just sits on top. And it's makes a pretty tight fit. It's not airtight or anything, but I think that's going to do the trick. So yeah, you can see the side panel there. Yeah, so that's the side panel. So basically the back half of that, there's a split right down the middle, so the back half lifts up and out, and then the front piece slides in, and then you push it forward to lock in around these 2 mounting studs. And then it just is held in there with friction, and the top is held on with gravity. Yeah, good evening, YouTube. So I got my front cover modified. I put 2 extra layers of the 8mm material on there, and then moved my magnets from the outside layer to the inside layer, and now it clears. So I've got a fully enclosed printer there. I left the sides of this cover unsealed for now. I want to see if this provides a little bit of ventilation to keep it from getting too hot, because there's a lot of air that blows off the extruder forward. So I figure that way it'll kind of keep most of the heat trapped in, but it'll let some of it out so things don't get too hot. You can always block these off if it's not staying hot enough. This is a fairly large part. You can see it covers most of the build plate right there. It goes clear from the front to the back. I figure that'll be a pretty good test of ABS. I'm hoping keeping the build volume somewhat enclosed will help that. Keeps the temperature in here a little bit closer to the bed temperature, so the cooling will take place over a longer period of time. So we'll see. That's my first big print in ABS here. This one's about 14-hour print, so we'll see what it looks like in the morning. And I've added my little external light. This is a 12-volt, 3-watt RV reading lamp that I have up there, just for a little lights. This one's not remote controlled, but I just have a little switch up here. I can come up, flip it off, flip it on, and that only uses 3 watts, so it's not a lot of power off my solar battery bank. It's just, what, 1/4 amp of power. Anyway, just thought I'd show you the modified build enclosure there. If you have a Type A machine's printer and you want to build an enclosure, it is pretty straightforward to do. You don't really have to modify the printer at all. In fact, you don't modify it in the slightest. It's all as it was delivered. No drilling, no gluing, no screwing. Everything hangs off of it or sits on top of it or slides in the side there. Yeah, I think that's going to work pretty good. So we'll see how this works overnight, and I'll let you know what it looks like in the morning. So catch you later. Thanks for watching.